Hi, I'm Shanmu, and this is my Can I Have It All story. First thing is being transparent. So I'm basically a PhD, then turned a lawyer, and because of profession, and I'm into legal now, IP legal setup. But right from my science days, even from the academic PhD days, we were trained to be open, transparent with the results, no manipulation, nothing. And I think it just carried away, and I still follow it. Yeah. And the second thing is I speak my mind. So there is nothing, even if it's my boss or even the leadership, I just openly say what I feel. And sometimes if I don't feel good with their response or with their counter argument, I take them aside on the same day after an hour or pause, and then I speak it out. For me, it's always a good sleep, a very good sleep and a good book. I just hate the mobile. If you ask me how much I use my mobile or what are the apps in it, I hardly use 10% or 20%. But very recently, I have also adopted breathing techniques. I started practicing thanks to my organization. So they have inculcated. And that I feel it's very essential. Especially I've crossed my 40s. So not just a sleep and a book would do so. You don't get sleep often. So that's something. So I take a me time for me in the morning. That's just half an hour. 15 minutes of physical workout, but 10 minutes of breathing work and 5 minutes of reflection. And that's enough for me. That 30 minutes me time actually helps me a lot. When you hear this work-life balance, you don't get into the depth of the words, and you feel more of an illusion. But once you start realizing that actually there is a balance required, and then you understand that it is possible. Okay, a perfect work-life balance is certainly impossible. Okay, the word perfect and the balance in itself actually is contradictory. At the end, now I feel if any woman or any man, if they feel whole, complete and happy at the end of the day or at the end of the week, both at life and at work, I think that is balance. So it's not an illusion anymore for me. Although whenever I hear in any leadership talk or in any conference, I used to say it's the same old thing, but it never happens, but it happens. You just have to just maintain that way. Struggle in terms of physical struggle, I think any woman can manage. If you take my aspect, so we are a nuclear family. I just have my spouse and 2 kids. So I know, I don't have support from in-law because they are living far away. In Tamil Nadu, and they cannot actually come here and stay with us. The same with my mom and dad. They are working and they are away. So we have to manage with what we have. So every woman, every man and women has this capability. You just write the problem. The problem is managing kids when both the parents are working. You will automatically find a solution. That's what has come out for me also. So it's either a creche or a nanny. So creche is essential at the initial years because they are too young. So they can be close to you. And a nanny is better at a later stage when they have grown up because they could manage, they can communicate with the nanny. Similarly, when it comes to cooking, you can find a solution. Either you get a cook or you at least get a help who can help you in the cooking. And driving, though, I think every woman is now capable. Yeah, I had problems with the driver, then I learned driving myself. So that's also possible. So I think all the physical struggles everybody can address. It's just a matter of thinking and then writing it over what could be the listing the solutions, and you can automatically pick one solution that suits you very well. The biggest struggle what I had is because all these things I could overcome, but the biggest trouble what I had is my psychological struggle. I had this constant guilt that am I doing good at my work, or at work I used to think am I doing good, or am I thinking about my family? And when it comes to kids, I always think, am I a good mother? So whether I'm able to cater to the even the food, even packing a tiffin box, am I giving them a balanced time? Am I the quality time? Okay, am I playing with them? So all this actually I've cut short. Like in the sense, from morning 9 to 6, you are at your office. You get the time only for 3 hours or 2 hours at night. So this am I question was always for me. Then I have also read an article. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to pack like a homemaker for them a perfect tiffin box. One day it could be perfect, another day just a balanced diet, another day you can compensate. So it's just need to be 60%, 70%. And the time you don't need to be there on the whole day. I have also interacted with many homemakers. They are there at a whole day, but I don't think so many indulge in the play with the kids or something. So this guilt is like self-imposed guilt for many working mothers, which I have consciously overcome. Okay, spending quality time, and I compensate a lot on a weekend. And at night, as I'm not a digital favoring person, so half an hour we read out stories. I think at the end, that's what etched in their memory. It's not the number of hours you spend with them, but the way you spend with them. So I've started accepting myself, and that has really helped. And if you see that, actually that had helped my environment also. When I start accepting more of imperfections of me and of myself, I started accepting my kids also as they are. I started accepting my spouse as they are. So this acceptance has really helped me in overcoming the guilt. I have to credit all the companies because whatsoever I've seen, or with whomsoever interacted, even with my colleagues or whoever comes from other company, I think they are doing a great job. I sincerely feel within the organization, men and women are equal. So even when they think like leader or act like leader, I would not see any difference between them. You can ensure a certain percentage of women within the men pool, and then you can teach them all these leadership funda or whatsoever. I have heard comments from my own colleagues, you're a woman and you have been selected for that, and it's a women from. So just value and then aim for these things: self-confidence, self-worth, and being independent. That motivated me. Actually, that made me to sacrifice these little things, like being with the kid always. It's not possible for me. Of course, I was with the kid for a few hours, but few hours they have to stay in the creche, or they need to stay with a nanny, or with their own sibling, or whatsoever. So these sacrifices I have to make solely for this. That is something. And I feel at the end of the day, I'm a role model to my kid, be it as a mom to my own son or to my daughter. They see me doing multitasking. Okay, I don't need to be 100% good at all the tasks, but I am doing multitasking and I'm able to manage. To see women or men who look and think alike, that's very important. In my own field, I have Kiran Mazumdar Shah, and I can also see Indra Numi, or even Anjali Sood or Falguni Patar, many successful women. I get inspired by them, but I don't relate myself to them, and I don't imbibe anything because they are a different lot. Okay, they don't have the day-to-day struggles what I have. Okay, I cannot leave my job. I need the finance, the support. I need to support my spouse, my family, and my earning is important, unlike them. And I don't get a ready cook. In fact, even now I have just made a chutney and then prepared the batter. I said I'll be away for an hour and I'll come back and do. And they are okay having a dinner a little late, but I need to make my own dinner, right? Yeah. So these are some things which make me on search for a role model who are alike and thinking alike. First thing I would say is get your priorities right. Okay, so this is what I struggled at the initial time. Okay, so I was too focused on the work, And it has come to a point where to be very frank, you end up fighting with your kids and fighting with your spouse. It's like so whatsoever, a lot of arguments. If your priority is family, don't mind, just take a pause from your career. It's not a break, it's not a full stop, it's always a pause, it will come back to you. So but just address the family priorities, because in the end, as I said, you need to feel whole, complete and happy. You cannot stress yourself. And if your priority is, yes, I need to be a CEO in 5 years, then set the other things right and aim for that. So get your priorities right, which I was unable to do with the initial years. I got it after 7 or 8 years, and that too after a very close talk with the senior leader.